right, no, but for real. Your name is on everybody's name is on the worksheets? All right. So, who remembers the skill that we're going to be working on? It's right in front of you, so read it for me.
Who is the speaker?
Yes, the speaker, but what's that all connected to? High five, give me a high five. Say it again. Point of view. The group that we're in. Alright, so what is the skill we're going to be working on?
Point of view.
Point of view. Point of view. Point of view is connected to something called a SOAP chart. And what are these little sections for?
Each one is like the purpose, the audience, like what a writer would need.
What a writer.
Each one speaker, occasion, audience, and purpose.
Okay, a whole bunch of different things that go along with it. Why is it important we know the point of view of the story? Why do you think it's important we know this?
To see if the writer is in the story.
Awesome. If the writer is actually telling the story from their point of view or from somebody else outside of the story's point of view. And there are 3 different types of point of view. Remember what they are.
First, second,
That's our purpose. Good job, because that's our purpose. Okay, that's purpose. What about our point of views? First person point of view,
second person,
second,
third person.
and third. Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're gonna practice, okay, a couple stories, and we're going to see if we can figure out our point of view based on things that we know. And we're going to try and fill out our little chart on those stories. So why don't we flip to page? Let's play a little game right now, a little point of view game. Let's flip to page 71. 71. Flip to page 71. We're going to use World War II book for Brandon. Brandon's going to write on his chart some of these answers for us, okay? So Brandon, Miss B's going to read this part, and then I want you guys to read the second paragraph by yourself. What we're going to take into consideration is what the point of view could be for these. Think about all the things we look for when we figure out the point of view. First, second, third, how we can identify them. The speaker, the occasion, the audience. Ready? So we're jumping right in. Germany sent 3 million men and over 3,000 tanks into the Soviet Union in 3 groups. One toward St. Petersburg, then called Leningrad, one toward Moscow, and then one toward Ukraine. They captured the city of Minsk and slaughtered its people. Slaughtered, what is that word?
To like destroy.
What do we call those words though?
High-level vocab.
We don't hear them every day. That only made the Soviets more determined to fight. However, so did the fact that Stalin had shot several of the Minsk senior officers for failing to protect the city. Clearly, surrender and retreat were not options. Okay. Now, there's a lot going on in this story, but I want us to just take one thing into consideration. What are we looking for?
The point of view.
Point of view. I want you guys very quietly right now to read the next paragraph silently. Silently. And I want you to take into consideration what that kind of point of view might be. Good? We all finished? Okay, so we're going to use this story for Brandon. So Brandon, write the title on your SOAP chart. World War II. This is our Tier 2 novel.
We
Yes.
highlight all of this? All the
Yeah, you're going to find them in your writing. Okay, so we're going to use his for this. So you guys don't need to write anything because we're going to practice from a different book for you guys. World War II. Okay, so what did that paragraph basically tell us?
That they want like they're gaining more food and resources.
Okay, so they're gaining more resources, exactly. So we understand that they're basically telling us in this war, Germany is advancing rapidly, they're gaining more resources, they gave us some important information here. Now, what is the point of view of this paragraph? What is the point of view of this story so far?
Probably second person.
Second person. Now, what makes you think it's second person?
Let's see.
Do we remember remember some aspects of second person? Listen.
Oh yeah.
When they're talking to the reader,
Yeah.
Right to the reader. So you'll see words like what?
your,
Your, you, right? Words like that? Okay. Do we see any words like that?
No. It's probably third person.
You think it's third person?
Yeah, because it says the Germans
So it makes us think the reader is what?
talking out loud. They're probably like
Outside of the story. He's not in it, and he's not talking to us. He's just telling us about it. So he's outside of the story. So for your perspective, right on the bottom for us, Brandon, that we all agree this is third person, correct? Now, what do you think, Josiah? Can we find a sentence that shows the reader is outside of the story? Remember the words to look for. There's certain words that give it away.
there's no I or me.
But there is something. What about
They're saying they.
they?
And they're saying
Exactly.
the.
So find me a sentence that might show the word they. They.
They also have no way to get food and they should just diligence of it.
So hearing they, we know they're not inside the story. We know they're outside of the story, and they're referring to what's happening to all these people. So let's use that as our evidence. Brandon, you're going to write it down for us. They also had no way to get food and ammunition. We'll stop right there. That's our evidence. That is our proof that this is a third person.
Okay, let's see.
All right?
Oh, you have to put quotes, right? Just to make sure.
The text states. Every time we use evidence, the text states.
The text.
Okay, next up. We're going to have
Text states
Muhammad.
they.
This one. Your job, Muhammad. You're up now. What page are we going to look up? 120. All right, Brandon. Grab the book. Open up to page 120. So now, page 120. Miss B's going to read one with you. Okay? We know what to look for now. We're going to look for the point of view in this paragraph. So, next, I thought of Michael, dear Michael O'Loughlin. We had been neighbors in Baltimore and had played many a summer day away together, and had studied together too. Michael was also in Baltimore. I would travel there to see them before I went back to the theater. Sam and Michael, I had known them always. They would, I believe, die before they would betray me. Enlisting my two old friends would be my first step. That decision made, I truly did let sleep come softly to my brain. Okay, so we don't really know what's happening. We just jumped right into the story. What do we do know? What do we know so far?
The points of view is.
I love that you want to tell me, but hold on, because I want to see if everyone gets it. So hold that in your head real quick. What do we know about the story, though? We are looking for the point of view, but what do we know about this story?
No, she.
No, my love, you didn't want to say that out loud. That's why I said, what do we know is happening in the story so far? Can you fix that? What do we know is happening so far?
This person is thinking of their friends.
Okay, they're thinking of their friends, they're listing their friends, exactly. So they give us a whole bunch of characters, they give us all the things that's going on. I want you guys now to read from the word at to the word toss, and I want you to continue to take into consideration what that point of view is. I love you know already, but read silently real quick and let's see. Think about what's happening as well. Are we starting to pick up? No, we didn't even read the beginning of the story. Are we starting to pick up on what's happening in the story so far?
Yeah.
So what's happening based on these 3 paragraphs? We just dived right into the book and started reading. What do you think is happening here?
Like, they're like, they're saying, they're like, she's just having memories about her and her friends hanging out.
Okay, so they're just giving us memories. They're telling us the friend's name. Exactly. Now we're going to try and dig even further and see what the point of view is here. What do you think the point of view is?
This time I'm pretty sure it's second person.
You're pretty sure it's second person this time. What do you think? What do you think? Okay. Now, if you think it's second person, Brandon, did you find evidence to prove that it's second?
Oh no, it's first person because it says I was 15.
Okay, so and what word gave it away?
The I.
Okay, so you are in charge of this story now. So we all agree the author's perspective here would be what?
First person.
First person, how do we know? What's our evidence? So find us a sentence. Find Muhammad a sentence that matches that, that proves that. If he was in court, you need evidence to prove it. What's his proof? So it's first person, and what's our sentence? Let's say it out loud.
I really know the age. I was 15.
I was 15 back at school. You don't even, when you need evidence, if you only need that one word, you don't need to write a big sentence. I was 15 back at school. Right away, we know the narrator is inside the story telling it, right? Perfect. So now Muhammad's going to write that for his. Last one is my friend, Josiah. You're in charge of this one now.
Remember, Punko Edition was just to see that you didn't copy off of the story.
These are all, they're 6th grade levels, so these are all 6th grade students. So,
One of the survivors.
Josiah, open it, flip it, wherever you want. We're all going to follow you. Okay, page 124. Brandon and Muhammad. I'll open for you, Muhammad. Page 124. Okay.
Chapter books.
So ready? Ms. B will read the first part.
What chapter?
32.
32. So I'm going to read the first part. I'm going to try and pick up on what's going on here. Then you guys are going to do the same. Always remember, what's our skill? What are we trying to pay attention to?
The point of view.
Point of view. So we want to see what that narrator, is he in it? Is he out of it? How do we figure it out? July 28th. I opened Hamlet just now. Some guy says, "Who's there?" And another one says, "Nay," answered me. Stand and unfold yourself. Stand and unfold yourself. Is this really English? Stand and unfold yourself. Try doing that. I read the next line or so, but then a car went down the street and I had to watch to see what color it was. Continue. Read that next paragraph silently.
Miss, we just share it to you.
You better take it over real quick. Read it one more time, maybe share with a partner. Use your writing partner or somebody in the group to help you make sure you have all of that.
They have
Alright, so then just use someone in the group when they're done or check it yourself. Good? When you're done, look up so I know we're ready. Okay, good. So now, based on what we read, what Miss B read, and what you guys read silently, what's going on in the story so far?
He's watching cars and he likes them.
He likes the cars. What makes you know he likes them?
When he says it's not a van or an SUV, and I like the colors.
I like the colors. So we notice he has some type of emotion towards this. He likes cars. Josiah, what point of view do you think this story is? You think it's two point of view?
I think it's first.
What do you mean two?
First.
You think it's first person?
Because it said blue and white, but I.
But I. Good job. Do we all agree?
I opened just now.
So our evidence, our proof is
Which says I.
I. Is there any more words that give away first person?
Let me see. Who's there?
This one too.
Well, there's a lot of I's, but I think there might be one more word that gives away its first person. Sometimes we don't refer to ourselves as I. We could even refer to ourselves as Brandon.
Huh? Is.
I don't think is tells us it's first person. What words?
Yourself.
Yourself. Yep, yourself. Or even
Oh yeah, unfold yourself. But not this time.
somebody talking to the narrator.
Yeah, the crow.
How about this? Understand who? Me.
Me.
Me. So I, me, and then the person in the story is talking to the narrator, which makes us think that they were inside of it, telling it from their perspective. Very good. So now, Josiah, you're going to write the perspective for the story. Did we write the name of each story on the top?
Oh no.
Wait, World War II assassins and the survivor?
And you're one of the survivors. Well, you only write your story. You were each in charge of different stories. Okay. And then Josiah, you're going to tell us the point of view. Now, for the rest of us, Brandon, Muhammad, and Josiah, what you guys are going to do now is we already know how to figure out what's happening, who the book was made for, the purpose, persuade, inform, entertain. You're now going to be in charge of your book. So I want you guys to continue skimming through and try your best to figure out these details in your story. Okay, so look through a little bit and tell me, who do you think the narrator is? You might have to read like the first page, the second page. You guys are responsible to try and fill this out now. Let's see how much information we can get from here.